Cleveland's Bar Association. We answer the phones on the first Monday of every month at 281-645-6344 from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. to provide general legal information and information about legal resources to Montgomery County residents.
Our talk shows and music shows are looking for sponsors. Want to expand your brand awareness? Reach the hyper-local audience in Montgomery County? Lone Star Community Radio sponsorships accomplish this. Want to see our stats and rates? Check out irlonestar.com/sponsor for more information. Or call in and leave us a message at 936-647-3776 with your question. Get seen on TV or YouTube and heard on our podcast, FM, and internet radio. Sponsor your local radio station with Lone Star Community Radio.
Howdy, everybody. This is Jared Sterrett, and you're listening to KZCC LP 106.1 Conroe and KZCW LP 104.5 in Conroe and worldwide at ourlonestar.com.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Hello and welcome to the Ticket Stub, your favorite place for movie news and reviews. We broadcast live, not live, sometimes live. We are live today, every Thursday at noon on 104.5 and 106.1 from beautiful downtown Conroe, Texas. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Facebook. The Ticket Stub is sponsored by the Grand Theater and Amstar Cinemas. Visit irlonestar.com for information about the show and sponsorships, or drop us a line at our message line, 936-647-3776. Also, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review on any platform you happen to be listening to us now, except the radio. I don't think you can leave us a review on the radio. Maybe you can. There's something like that.
I'll give you a 5-star review.
Oh, you give me a 5-star review?
I'll give you a 5-star
Hey,
review.
that's not
out of 10.
My opening. That wasn't bad.
That was good.
Most of the time, it's a train wreck.
Yeah, people are probably wondering what happened to Connor.
Yes.
He looks so much better now.
I know. Well, I guess he's skiing again. That's all I can come up with.
He's at that bondage skiing expo in Aspen again.
Bondage skiing.
You didn't know that? You didn't know bondage people love to go skiing?
The leather people.
Who would have thought?
Yes,
you know?
the leather people. Well, that voice you hear is producer Dick.
Yeah.
He is here today.
You think
with
they would
us.
like luging more, right? Because they wear those really tight uniforms to go luging down the aisle.
You luge with 2 people, right? You can.
Can
do that.
you?
I think you can. I think there's a two-person luge.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2-person luge, 3-person sled.
And that
And
voice-
four-person bobsled and
Yeah,
3-person?
3 and 4-person box.
You think they ever try to go like, hey, let's do like 6. Let's do 10. Because, people canoe like that. They'll do like 10-man canoe,
Well,
the
At that point, it becomes an extreme sport where you figure out who's flying off.
whoever's the last
sled.
person's the most nervous
Yeah,
person.
right,
They're like,
yeah.
oh, great.
Kind of like rollerball.
Can you imagine a remake of Cool Runnings
with 10 people.
with 10 people?
I'd watch that. I'd probably watch it.
What will be the next Cool Runnings movies to y'all?
Cooler runnings?
Well, I meant more of like an obscure situation where someone you would never expect to do this sport, but they're somehow come out to be really good at it.
Now, are you talking like serious
Like I
or
said, well,
spoof?
they always do stuff like it's like, hey, we need to do an uplifting sports movie this year.
Okay.
So like it's always a hockey movie, or it's always who's the untold hero.
Oh, I think curling is off that list then.
Yeah.
If you did a curling movie, it would
Yeah.
have to be a
I
spoof.
mean, that'd be a great set to be on because you're always at bars.
Water polo.
You think water polo can make it? Oh, I guess.
Yeah, you could.
What you do is you get the cinematographers from all the Nat Geo stuff and all the slow motion people, and it's like, yeah, let's do water polo.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll take your water polo, and I think they would. The time is right for a yachting movie, like a regatta.
Oh yeah.
I don't think there's a really enduring sport that people really or it's new to them because bobsleighing was somewhat new.
Well,
to
it's the
world.
shtick of the Jamaican bobsled.
So that's the joke. That's kind of, or that's the hook. Like, hey, come see this movie. It's kind of fun. You'd never expect Jamaican people to be good at bobsledding because they're on an island that is beautiful and sunny, not, cold and tunnely and icy.
We need another golf comedy.
You think so?
I think we're
Every 10
we
years
do.
you need a good one.
I think we do.
Well, I
yeah.
think you could do one with Tiger Woods. So who would write that movie? Want to make a spoof movie about Tiger Woods? And they would have to do something about him cheating on his wife with like 100 strippers. And then it's like, so who would write that movie? Would you do like a Evan?
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry? No. Because it's got to be a spoof. Tyler Perry's not really good at spoofing, is he? Is Medea a spoof?
He finds the comedy and the outrageous reality, if that makes sense. Because he does the dramas, like, I can't remember the name of it, but someone figures out their spouse is cheating on him, and then you have the Boo, the Halloween
But
one.
is that considered a spoof or
No,
just
not
like
necessarily.
Because to me, if someone made like Big Mama's House, that's like a spoof of Medea. But
There is a great golf movie called Dead Solid Perfect with Randy Quaid that's from the 80s, and it is
you know so many movies.
it is
so great.
very
So it's called
funny.
Dead Solid Perfect.
Yeah, it's very a Tiger Woods story. He's a down on his luck golfer, and he eventually comes back to win.
Because
I had to buy that bootleg off eBay
really
to get it. Yeah, somebody just made a copy off of VHS. That's the only way you can get it. I have it. I'll let you borrow it.
You mean allegedly?
I guess.
You allegedly bought it.
Well, I bought it through eBay. It just came.
Well, what's
So
it-
there was
well-
no hiding anything.
yeah, because Tiger Woods is he won his little deal. And
Yes, and I cried like a baby at the end. I watched
Are you
the
a
whole
big golf
thing.
person?
I love golf. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So when it comes to golf movies, because like the ones that come into my head is of course you have Happy Gilmore, which I guarantee they're gonna make a sequel to in like 10 years, just because it's money. And then you got like Tin Cup, which is a favorite. It's just an easygoing movie, and all the actors are pretty funny in it. And like any other golf movies, like Caddyshack, of course.
Bagger Vance.
Well, that's not like. Is that one of the best?
It broke the mold of the golf comedy that it had
Yeah.
like mystical underlings and
Well, then you had The
it's-
Greatest Game with Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, and the Kevin Costner movie, I've forgotten the name of it.
Oh, Tin Cup.
Yeah, Tin Cup. Yeah.
But there's not like a serious golf movie, is there? Besides Bagger Vance. Bagger Vance had some mystical elements to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then The Greatest Game was more of like a Disney movie, like a standard Disney movie where, the local Taylor kid somehow is good at golf. The old story.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
also there've been
I like how we're just off the rails.
Yeah, we
And just,
really are off the rails.
Chris is like,
Okay,
Hey,
we'll go back.
That other voice you hear is the legendary Sean K. Thompson here. We didn't get to introduce him, but now we did.
yeah, you were a screenwriter and playwright, and you're all involved in production. So you've
Yep,
been on
director,
screen,
producer.
you've been on stage. You're going to be on stage. If you want to see Sean's directing abilities on stage, he's directing Happy Days,
Oh,
which
wow.
is based off the TV series. And what's really neat, I want to speak
If
for
it
you.
would not be based off the TV series, what would it be based off of?
well, people who go to stage, they take it to a different angle sometimes. Like, what, I'm
That's
an
true.
artist. I'm a thespian, or is it thespian?
with a P, thespian.
Thespian.
Yeah.
I like the B one though better. But what's
That's the
interesting,
subcategory.
what's interesting is he's doing it like if we're the studio audience. So if you go to the Owen, get
Oh,
your ticket.
cool.
Yeah, if you get the
Cool.
ticket to the Owen Theater, it's local here in Conroe, and it's like watching an episode of the Happy Days.
Yeah, a special musical episode.
Yeah, musical too.
So we'll have the
awesome.
on-air sign and a couple of fake TV cameras pointed
I might
at the
steal that
stage.
on-air sign, by the way, if it looks good.
Okay.
But I'm really excited about it because Sean's been talking a lot about it. He's a wonderful director on stage. I haven't seen any of his directing movies or anything like that. Total different medium, okay? And but no, I encourage folks, if you want to see it, check it out because I think it's kind of a neat crossover between TV and. Did they make a Happy Days movie?
No.
Never, because I know they made a Brady Bunch movie, but that was like not the same actors.
Yeah, that was a spoof.
Okay. And they just wanted us to believe that those are the same actors, right? They wanted us.
Oh
to
yeah,
believe,
well, it was the Brady movie and the very Brady sequel were total comedies making
off
fun
character.
of the comedy.
Really?
Yeah, making fun of it.
Well, they didn't break the fourth wall or anything.
Oh, a lot. Yeah.
Oh, okay. To be honest, I haven't seen that TV series. I've maybe seen like once.
With
but
the Brady Bunch?
Like one episode. So I didn't really know what the whole shtick was. I thought it was just because you have a unique scenario with three kids, different dads, mom, that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, it was the changing times of America to have
Divorce
a divorced
and-
mom.
yeah.
Now, of course, the mom's always divorced and the dad's always widowed in all these movies. You
Yeah.
can't have a divorced dad with kids, especially in the 60s.
So that's true. I wonder why my mom didn't die. No, I was kidding.
Well, let's do the show rundown here.
Okay.
10 minutes in.
We're in the ticket
what
stub.
you're-
Ticket stub.
Ticket stub. We got movie news coming up, and then we've got we're gonna do our group rewind. Not group rewind. That's next week or one of the weeks. I don't even know what day it is.
Oh, great. So you have a piece of paper that's supposed to tell you everything, and you're
Yes.
completely off on everything.
Exactly. Yeah. I also don't know how to read. And then at the end, we're going to play a game of same actor, which is where I will give you all 3 different films, and the same actor is in all 3 different films, and you guys have to name the actor. Whoever names the actor gets a point. So, movie news. The first article, Dick, you sent me this.
Yeah, I've wanted to talk a little bit about it.
It's called Netflix. It's from CNBC.com. Netflix isn't killing movie theaters. Viewers who stream more also go to cinemas more. That's basically
A clickbait title.
it is, but that's what the article's about. They're basically saying that there was all this the perceived threat by streaming services that they were killing movie theaters, or that's why movie theater attendance was down. And it's actually turned out to be not the case. Those folks are still going to the movies. I think last year was the biggest box office year of all time.
Well, that's one thing I wanted to kind of chat about, because what's changing in the movie industry, and you know this firsthand, is movies in the past 10 years, now they're banking on 1 to 6 big movies to make the box office numbers. So it's not like, hey, let's do 15 mediocre movies. It's like, no, let's do, every year we need a Star Wars. We need somewhere people show up midnight, because you're a midnight person, Sean. And like they need to create that atmosphere at least once a year, and they make so much money in the next 3 months following that movie. And I think that's why the article mentioned something about they expect next year next year's box office is going to go up 1%, but it's going to be the highest earned ever for the box office. So you always hear those folks saying like, oh, no one goes to the movies, theaters dying, and I bet you hear about like that a lot from just different hot takes.
You do, and I stick back to what I've said on the show. I've said it at the beginning of last year when we first started doing this, that you're not going to make $100 million in a weekend releasing something on Netflix. I mean, they're always going to need this platform to be able to make those huge numbers. I mean, you're not going to release Avengers on Netflix for nobody. I mean, because where would the money be coming? That movie's got a $250 million budget.
Well, look at Bird Box, because remember that broke all viewing records,
It
and
did,
then a
but
week later,
where's the money? If that
gone.
had been released in theaters, there would be a ton of money there for him.
This is going to be kind of a tangent. So you're saying, where's the money? I was reading an article about when Disney Plus announced their streaming service a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Bob Iger, whatever, the CEO, basically said this wouldn't have happened if they didn't have Disney Plus. They wouldn't be able to get 20th Century Fox because of the value of Disney Plus. So when you say where's the money, I think the industry is seeing there's a lot of money to be made from streaming services on a constant cash procedure, because what the risk with a Infinity War is you have Robert Downey Jr. going back to rehab because he got caught doing all this crazy stuff, and the public, we all know Twitter outrage is a thing. It affects money, and that's really that will end up happening at least once. Okay, it happened to Batman. They're not making Batman anymore because Buttman came out about Ben Affleck touching butts.
Yeah, but that's
And they were literally, well, I know, but they were literally in the middle of making an Infinity War style movie. Like that was a big budget film, and he was directing it. They filmed half of it, and then that came out, and they're like, he just didn't want to do anymore because of the outrage. So Netflix is kind of like, hey, we're still gonna be making $10 off a person, even if the movie sucks. That's where the money is.
Yes, but that $10 is split between Bird Box and then the next 10 Adam Sandler
We're not
movies
depending
coming
just
out.
on Bird Box, though.
Right.
They're dependent on all the 1,000 other things they're releasing.
Yeah, but you pay
So-
your $10 for a movie ticket. Let's say you get the movies once a month. Your 10 or Netflix going up to 12. You pay your $12 a month. That'll get you. That goes in just to that title. You spend your $12 a month on Netflix. It's Bird Box. It's Black Mirror. It's
But
The
it's
Loop,
kind of you
it's-
kind of have to ask yourself as a movie theater. It's similar to Movie Pass. It's like, would you rather get consistent knowing what your cash flow is every month, or cash intake, or hey, we need an Infinity War every 3 months to make ends meet? Because you just don't know. Because I mean, like, of course, Endgame is going to make
but you have an
a
Infinity
boatload of
Wars,
money.
and that
It's
takes
covering
care
you.
of your
It's
whole
covering,
year.
yeah.
you know,
Well, that's what I'm
so-
saying. That the industry's moving towards that. It's not like, hey, let's release a good movie every month. No, it's like we're releasing 3 movies every year that are going to be huge. Because what we got, Star Wars at the end of the year, right? And then we have Endgame right now, and that's it. Like I don't know any huge movies that people are going to be showing up at midnight, the week ahead, whatever. Which I think it has a great impact on the industry, because I love that kind of excitement from audience members. Like I think it's really cool. People want to show up at midnight at a midnight screening, because I've done it once, and I was like, this is a great experience. I don't know if I'll ever do it again, but like. That's something that I think the industry needs to focus on the audience. They go, we need to get people in the seats. and
Well, on
stuff
the
like
morning
that.
show, we've talked about this, that they're running out of source material. I thought that after Lord of the Rings, that was the last final epic that someone would be doing the midnight movie, staying in line for, because we've kind of seen it and done it. I was not prepared for the Avengers being as popular as it was, but obviously they took it and ran with it. But after that, after Endgame,
What's even
where's
crazier,
our source
though,
material?
well, to add on to that is the brothers who directed it, they released these letters kind of making a plea to folks, like, don't ruin it. In the letter, they basically said they created a movie that has a pivotal points that they don't want to ruin. And I'm thinking, man, they wrote it knowing that this was going to be, like, don't ruin it for people. It's going to be in a whole experience. And to me, that kind of tells me, like, some industry people are going to try to do that. They create that buzz where don't ruin Endgame for me. Because remember when Infinity War came out, everyone was like, I'm not going to say it, but I'm crying, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, well.
And then the dust photos would start appearing.
Yeah, and you're like, people were ruining it, but it still was like, oh, I'm interested. I'm interested in going.
Well, they're hoping that, and I'm sorry if we're over talking, but like Sixth Sense, the reason why it was so popular is because people were trusted. Oh my God, come, you got to watch
And they
this movie.
respected
They'd watch
it. They're like,
again.
don't tell. I'm not going to tell you. You need to go see it.
Nowadays, people just can't. You got like 48 hours, which is why people are spending $10,000 on a ticket off of eBay to go see the midnight showing, so they know that no one can ruin it for them.
Yeah, but I mean, in the end, the article, I think it's right. I think they make a good point that people who enjoy watching Netflix still go see movies, and I don't.
And are movie theaters threatened? This is why I think. Of
Oh,
that.
here we go.
Oh,
so
no.
dramatic.
Oh
so
no!
dramatic.
We will be here for quite some time. Take that, Movie Pass.
You betcha.
Threw it in the trash can.
Well, they said-
none of that hit the trash can. That was pretty impressive
Yeah.
there.
They said
All right.
bookstores were going to die with ebooks, and they're as popular as ever now once they rejiggered.
All right, moving on. Second article: Fantastic Beasts 3. Warner Brothers is worried about Johnny Depp's personal
I doubt it.
issues that it's going to affect the grosses.
They should be worried about actually doing a good movie.
This is cinemablend.com. See, that was kind of my take on it as well. It's basically saying that because he has this defamation suit going back and forth with Amber Heard, and allegations are coming out that he was abusive and things of that nature, that it would affect the box office grosses of this movie. Me personally, I don't think so. I think
People like Johnny Depp, man.
he's not like the main character
No.
in those films. So
My take on it is Johnny Depp has always had the reputation of being just
Yeah.
an
He's been out there.
auteur. He's been out there. Now, compare him to a Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey portrayed himself, the public persona, as nice guy, everyman. He did American Beauty, and every middle-aged guy would be, yeah, dude, I see bits of me in that. So there's a sense of betrayal when when the news on Spacey came out. With Johnny Depp, we hear, maybe he did this and that, and he was really crazy. Well, yeah, it's Tuesday.
I mean, he's got tattoos.
well, I think if this had come out this time last year, yes, I think it would have affected it. But I think we've been able to deal with the Me Too movement a little bit.
Well,
more now.
this particular series really needs to worry about making a good movie. They shouldn't be worrying about this because, from what I understand about the second one, I saw the first one, which was enjoyable. Like it's a fantasy movie. 12-year-old me was like, "This is fun," but from what I heard about the second one, it didn't go forward. It was a dud, and it was almost like it was self
Self-gratification.
gratification in the whole Harry Potter series.
I haven't seen it, but it feels to me that it's like The Hobbit to Harry Potter, meaning you had Lord of the Rings, which is everything.
How many references can we make to Lord of the Rings in this movie?
Well,
we make a lot of them on
Yeah,
every
Hobbit.
week, pretty
and
much.
next they're going to be doing the Silmarillion, which is even farther down the food
yeah.
chain. So instead of building up, you're going down. So you had Harry Potter and the whole thing.
There's a
and now
reason
we're-
why no one's done this. I can't pronounce it.
Silmarillion.
There's a reason why no one's done it.
Yeah, it's even I find it boring and I love it. To put a movie about it, and so same thing with I think Fantastic Beasts. People aren't engaged enough. Now Johnny Depp was in the Harry Potter movies. There might be a danger. They may have to rewrite him. But with this, I don't think anyone's going to care enough.
No. All right, moving on. We've got, if we don't violate a copyright law, who knows?
Well, no, we never do this.
We're going to show the Star Wars trailer
we're
now.
commenting on it, so we're fine.
Earlier this week, a Star Wars trailer for the new film that comes out, and the name of it
First
escapes
off,
me,
it's
which
two
is
2 minutes and it's a teaser. Okay, so it's not a trailer. Let's get it right. Okay.
teaser technically is like 15 seconds
You're
or
right.
20
Well,
seconds.
That's what I
I'm
this
thought.
is a
The
trailer.
industry. It says teaser on the.
Okay, fine.
So
All
I'm
right.
just
And we'll
can,
give our reactions. You can talk through it if you'd like.
Well,
Okay.
that's what we do.
Yeah, we talk
Can we do it
through
like MST3K?
You sure can. And actually probably talk a lot so they don't pick up on the
Yeah,
copyright.
let's. I'm getting,
Yeah, there we
I'm
go.
getting it loaded right now, guys.
I
So
gotta
y'all-
put on my
so you-
glasses so I can see.
Yeah, you right? You guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
Oh, that's the wrong
Oh.
video.
Yeah, make sure make sure people are watching this.
Oh my goodness.
She even dresses like Luke. Come on.
What's the armband?
We're going to
for?
retcon her parentage, aren't we?
We've passed on all we know.
And that's Mark Hamill,
A
right?
1,000 generations live in you now.
That's Daisy Ridley, actually.
Oh, classic showdown.
But this is your
TIE
fight.
fighter versus man
Is
or
this-
woman.
This is one of those jackass YouTube videos with the skateboard. You know, a guy trying to jump over the car.
Have you seen this?
Lots of desert. So that's
Okay, is it Tatooine or the other planet?
Oh, wow.
Well, there's some sound mixing in the movie.
Where do they film that? In an actual desert?
I hope.
Yeah, it's not green screen, thankfully.
Why don't you just stick the sword in him, bro?
Oh, was that...
That was Lando.
Oh, okay, okay.
We'll always be with you. No one's ever really gone.
Now, is that a piece of the Death Star?
I think that's the dish.
His microphone's in the way. I can't see anything. There we go.
There's the payoff right there.
Oh, yes. That's what, Emperor Palpitations. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right, so what do you guys think? What do you think?
Well, one thing I love about trailers like this is they did a good job by not ruining a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of alluded to a good thing. So you're asking questions when you watch that. So I like that. But there's some practical things. I'm like, so what situation is she going to be in when she's in the middle of a desert and there's a TIE fighter coming after her? I'm
Well,
kind of curious.
Did you notice the gloves? Those were really Darth Vader gloves.
On her hands?
No, there's a close up. There's an insert shot of the
Yeah,
the
well, it's
control
probably
column.
it's probably Kylo Ren.
Well, again, that leads to
But,
the question: is
yeah.
it Kylo trying to run her down?
I wish Darth Vader came back. That'd be bad. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
That'd be the big surprise. He's like all robot, but like one eyeball
And they
is
could do
Anakin.
it. James Earl Jones is still alive.
So he's doing Mufasa.
Well,
he
I don't
is.
think death will stop you being a Star Wars. So that you see, they're using footage of Carrie Fisher.
I mean, did he really die?
I heard that was stuff they had already filmed.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, it was
You know
leftover
what?
footage from the
That
previous.
is
film.
kind of weird to me. Is you look at the original Star Wars and then you look at the sequels to it. No one ever questioned if he really died or not.
Mhm.
If that makes sense. Like,
Well, this does pull the rug out
I
from
guess you
under
saw
us
his
because
ghost.
you
I
hear
guess you saw his
Palpatine.
ghost, right?
Yeah, you saw his
So,
Force ghost.
Maybe that's what.
But it's Palpatine. I mean,
That's
I
what
think,
I want when I die. A Force ghost.
right? I think the whole payoff on this teaser is the Palpatine laugh. At the
I
end.
think so,
That
yeah.
explains so much. That gets the conversation going. It makes sense how the First Order.
Well,
got in so
one
quick.
thing I wanted to ask is, Sean, you were there when the first movie came out, and that's not a knock on
I
your
met
age.
Mark Hamill.
So that's not a knock on your age.
He's the voice of the new Chucky, by the way.
Really?
He is.
Oh,
yeah.
instead of Brad Dourif.
Yep, it's Mark Hamill.
Was he? Well, yeah, he's kind of creepy.
What?
Yeah, the new
wow. I wonder why they didn't
Play,
get.
reboot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, like one thing I got to ask is, when the first Star Wars came out, there's a lot of really neat ways to go in depth into Star Wars. Like you can watch it as a cool adventure movie, go home and do whatever, or you could be like, oh, is there a book? What's the Force? All this kind of stuff. And now I'm trying to. I really like Star Wars as an adventure. It's kind of like Indiana Jones. Those are just fun movies. You don't question too much. But then we start getting into like the nitty gritty, like for the early episodes 1, 2, and 3. They start talking about midichlorians.
Yeah,
And I'm kind of like, where's the consistency here? So does that mean Palpatine's not dead, or does that mean there's always one Sith spirit in other people? Like evil's going to be in one person. You know what I'm talking about?
one of the biggest dangers in creating a movie or TV series or a play is when it gets committed to death, when you have
Yeah.
5,000 different voices chiming in. But just as dangerous is when you have the one person who says, oh no, I created this, so I have the answers to everything.
J.K. Rowling.
And that was George Lucas, whom I love, but he came up with this whole, there can only be one Sith and one.
Yeah, I
this.
didn't really understand.
And that was
And I'm
trying
playing
to fit it all together.
I'm playing a video game where it takes place like 10,000 years before, and they're like, yeah, there used to be a bunch of Sith. I'm like, well, I thought, what? And I'm like, okay, cool, lightsabers, and then like I can move on. But I'd say that's one thing I'm trying. I don't really like about the new ones because they just didn't really resonate. And let's just make it simple. Let's just have
Well,
fun.
in 77 and 78 when Star Wars came out, because I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
And so I was the target audience. And Star Wars, I don't think anyone gets it. It was a way of life like no other movie had ever encompassed. We all dressed up.
Just like Bird Box.
You know, yeah, we would take the fluorescent tubes or gift wrap
That's dangerous.
tubes. We didn't care because we wanted to do the
Right.
You know, we would act it out. We
Yeah.
would go around saying, "May the force be
You
with
kiss
you."
your sister?
What? Did I yeah, I had there's some great memes like that. Well, that's the thing. I've always said Lucas kind of lied about Luke and Leia being brother and sister.
Yeah.
Because the original sequel was called Splinter of the Mind's Eye. That there was going to be a low budget sequel of Star Wars. He was contractually bound to do 2 movies. So he wrote a script called Splinter of the Mind's Eye, which is low budget and only had Luke and Leia and no Han, no Chewie. And it was, if Star Wars wasn't a moneymaker, they would have filmed that to contractually fulfill their obligations. Well, obviously Star Wars took off. So Alan Dean Foster novelized Splinter of the Mind's Eye. In Splinter of the Mind's Eye, there's a passage that pretty much verifies Luke and Leia are having a relationship, a sexual relationship or a physical one. I mean, it is spelled out there. I actually remember how it's phrased, where Luke is going to ask her to marry him because they're basically living in sin. This is canon. George Lucas said, this is canon. Splinter of the Mind's Eye is canon. So therefore, either the Skywalker's insanely incestuous or Lucas changed his mind.
And it took Game of Thrones to let people be okay with
Right.
it. So
Well,
Han
the
shot first.
The trailer looks great, so it should
It's-
be a good
yeah,
movie.
I think
But
it'll
we
be fun.
got to go to break.
oh man.
And when we come back from break, we're
Weird.
going to do our rewinds. I didn't even tell him, so he's shocked. But here's the music. All right.
Well, we'll be right back. The
Yeah,
Ticket
we'll
Stub
be right
brought
back
to you
on
by
the
who?
Ticket
Who
Stub.
sponsored this show, bro?
The Grand Theater and Amstar Cinemas.
Okay, and the Grand Theater has recliner seats now.
We do.
And-
we have a bar opening this Friday.
This
Tomorrow.
Friday? You have a
Tomorrow.
bar?
Yeah.
Like a booze bar?
Full bar. Yeah.
Dude, talk about burying the lead.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
going to have daiquiris.
You need to
and
start
all
highlighting
good
that
stuff,
more.
so-
And you can also reserve seating. I think that should
Reserve
be like,
seating.
hey man, go online
We have a
Anytime.
bar with movies.
and reserve seating.
Yep.
So no one can take your spot at the bar.
Yeah,
You're-
we'll be, go ahead.
You got close this out.
We'll be right back on the Ticket Stub.
Hispanic Chamber Connections with Dr. Carlos Sanchez, president of the Woodlands Conroe Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, featuring event announcements, member highlights, and more. Tuesdays at 1 p.m., broadcasting from the heart of Conroe, Texas on irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
The Ticket Stub is sponsored by the Grand Theater and Amstar Cinemas.
With 18 locations around the country, the Grand Theater and Amstar Cinemas bring you the latest in state-of-the-art projection and sound.
including Fathom Events and Flashback Cinema.
Did you know your local Grand or Amstar Cinema serves a wide variety of adult beverages?
And some even have a full bar.
And moms, they didn't forget about you. They also have a large selection of wine to help you get through those kids' movies.
Visit your local Grand or Amstar Cinema today.
Did you know that there are over 153 million orphans in the world today? The sad reality is 99% of those kids will likely never be adopted. Core Love is an organization right here in Conroe that takes care of orphan children in Haiti, Honduras, and India. We bring the love of Jesus by providing their 6 basic needs of clean water, proper food, healthcare, education, job skills, and a loving home. Visit corelove.org, that's CORELUV.org. Will you help defend the orphan?
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show, with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776.
The Ticket Stub is sponsored by the Grand Theater and Amstar Cinemas.
With 18 locations around the country, the Grand Theater and Amstar Cinemas bring you the latest in state-of-the-art projection and sound,
including Fathom Events and Flashback Cinema.
Did you know your local Grand or Amstar Cinema serves a wide variety of adult beverages?
And some even have a full bar.
And moms, they didn't forget about you. They also have a large selection of wine to help you get through those kids' movies.
Visit your local Grand or Amstar Cinema today.
Let's begin now.
Welcome back on the Ticket Stub. Last segment, we talked about movie news, Johnny Depp's personal problems, whether Netflix is killing movie theaters, and then we showed the new Star Wars trailer.
Yeah, very exciting stuff, man.
Very exciting. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Our Twitter handle is @the_Ticket Stub, so tweet us whenever you get a chance. You can, of course, comment on our Facebook posts. So it is that time for our movie rewinds. And Sean, I'm going to let you go first because you are our guest today.
Oh, that's sweet. Well, you told me the movies you're planning on rewinding, and they're kind of hardcore and not like balls of laughter. So I'm going with what I believe is the funniest movie, pound for pound or inch of frame, or however you want to phrase it, in the history of cinema.
Wow.
It's a Blake Edwards movie. So
okay.
you know,
okay. I think I know where you're going.
and it's called The Great Race.
Okay.
From the 1960s, starring Tony Curtis, Natalie Wood, Keenan Wynn, Peter Falk, and Jack Lemmon in a dual role, where he plays the bad guy, Professor Fate, and then he also plays this prince, who basically the man in the Iron Mask and the Prisoner of Zenda combined. This movie pays homage to every trope in the world, and where the hero wears white and is cheered, the bad guy wears black. There's a pie fight of in fact, it's on the video now,
we see that, yeah.
of galactic proportions. Literally every time Natalie Wood is on screen, she's in a different costume. There's 19 costume changes for her, where it can be from one scene to the next. And the premise of it is it's the 1910s, and Tony Curtis plays the Great Leslie, who's an adventurer, who always wears white and always gets the girl. And when he smiles, his eye sparkles, that kind of thing. And he is challenged by his nemesis, Professor Fate, Jack Lemmon, to a car race around the world. So there are elements of it's a mad, 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 mad world, Cannonball Run. You see these later movies.
You're telling me the new Mad Max movie that's coming out in like 5 years is based off this movie?
I think every Cannonball Run
that's what I'm
movie.
hearing. I'm hearing.
It's you will gut laugh when you see this movie. The visual gags, and every time you watch it again and again, there is one of the best sword fighting scenes ever that I think is better than the Princess Bride sword fighting scene.
Wow.
Between Tony Curtis and the bad guy who played the Baron in The Prisoner of Zenda with James Whitmark. They reproduced that scene, but with the comedic element, and it's just brilliantly done. If you want to laugh over and over and over again, watch The Great Race by Blake Edwards.
That looks really good. I don't know how this missed my radar, but I'm gonna definitely check that out.
Did you watch it on DVD? Or do you know if you could stream it? I know it's kind of a.
I know it's on my DVR. So I think TCM showed it, but I'm sure you can find it on Amazon Prime. I'll go to imdb.com and usually,
I'm there. I'll take care of it.
There you go. Thank you, Dick.
So.
And
awesome.
the subtext to it is it talks about emancipation of women too. You know, it's Natalie Wood plays a reporter who's trying to get the scoop on the story, so she becomes an entrant in the race. And of course, there's the love story, and it's just brilliantly done.
That does look awesome. I'm definitely going to check that out. So, Dick, what have you got this week?
So I saw Shazam.
Okay.
The new movie that's out in theaters right now. It is based off of a very old comic book, and it stars. Let me load up the trailer real quick so I can play it in the background for folks who are kind of curious of what's going on with it. And I saw it at the Grand Theater with my recliner seats, by the way. It's directed by David F. Sandberg, who you might know from other directing. He's kind of an early directing role. He did like Annabelle Creation, Lights Out, kind of like basically scary movies, and now he's doing this, which is kind of interesting. But other people in the movie are main cast. Zachary Levi plays Shazam. Mark Strong plays Dr. Sivana. And then there's like a bunch of other people I don't want to ruin because there's a surprise at the end. And I saw this with Holly, and it's rated a PG-13. It's 2 hours and 12 minutes. I would say it's a very good movie overall. I think if you want to go see a well-done comic book movie that has a great message for kids and for families and for whoever, it kind of encompasses what people read comics about, why people like comic books. I think they did a really good job. I would say the only negative thing I would say about it is there's a caterpillar in it, and I was really happy about that. And I was like, no one's gonna get this.
Well, if you read Captain Marvel or Wiz Comics,
there's a caterpillar in it, and you're like, I was like, because to me, a lot of comic book movies have to make that decision of who their audience is, especially these big budget like Endgame. Because, like, for example, Endgame, one other thing I love about the comic book version of it is Deadpool's in it. And they didn't talk about that or death. And so I understand why they didn't talk about the character death, because it's kind of like why Thanos did the snapping. But, like, I understand why they didn't, because they didn't have Deadpool. They didn't have all that figured out at the time. So this movie, you definitely saw they were trying to work with what they had, but they also make notion of, like, all the other DC universes really don't exist yet, because you could tell they're too afraid to say.
That's probably a good thing.
Who's Batman? Who's this? And they kind of had the Batarang in it. And they had that kind of. You knew they were in the same world, but you know they didn't make the decision to have Batman in the movie, which you were expecting. You're like, where's Batman? And there's even
which Batman?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think there's even to give you even a like hardcore example of it is towards the end, and Superman's in the movie.
Okay.
And it's a joke. And I'm not going to ruin this for anyone because it's not part of the plot, but they cut off his head. So you don't know who it is. You just see Superman's body. And
when you said cut off his head, I thought you meant they decapitated Superman.
So clearly they made the decision of like, we don't know who Superman is right now. And it was funny because I think that's really neat about having humor. This movie is very humorous because the premise is like a 12, 14-year-old boy is granted the power of Shazam, which protects the world from evil, basically. And in the movie, Mark Strong is the villain. He releases the 7 deadly sins. And so basically, this 12-year-old boy can turn into Zachary Levi, who you see on the screen. Like, he's big and he's powerful and he's learning his powers. And it's just a fun movie. I think anyone that's looking for a fun, well-made comic book movie really needs to check it out. It's all ages, of course. And then I think the Thor movie's playing now, so we're not going to have that. But yeah, I really encourage, like, Sean, you're a big comic book person. I would totally check it out. Like, the way I would go into it is just have fun with it. Because a lot of jokes are really corny and good corny. It reminded me a lot of the Marvel humor. Because some of the humor is pretty good in it. And some of the humor is really missed. You're like, oh, that's really cheesy. But this movie overall has a very good message, especially about family, which I really like. I like this kind of if it's done well, it hits you in the heart. And you're like, man, I really dig it. So go see it. Shazam. It's in theaters, particularly at the Grand Theater. Check it out. I think y'all do also have it in 3D too. I didn't see it in 3D.
We do not have it in 3D right now.
So I hate 3D versions, so I'm glad y'all don't. But very good movie, especially a date movie. It's fun and that kind of stuff. So go see it.
Awesome. Well, I saw Us. This was a very, very big time hyped movie for this year. It's directed by Jordan Peele, and it's 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, so very high scoring for Rotten Tomatoes. The plot is a family's serene beach vacation turns into chaos when their doppelgangers appear and begin to terrorize them. This stars Lupita Nyong'o, Elizabeth Moss, Tim Heidecker, Callie Sheldon, and Noelle Sheldon. Basically, rapid fire movie review. That's what I'm going to do. See, I have papers, but I don't even know how to read, so I'm like all over the place.
Does this premise remind you of like a really bad dream you've had?
This right now?
Well, I'm saying
yes.
I'm saying it does, the premise of the movie. I was like, I feel like I've dreamed about this, where your doppelganger's after you and all this kind of stuff.
No, I've never had that dream.
So rapid fire
movie review. Matthew Lacona from the San Diego Reader. The result is bloody but weirdly bloodless, a sort of thinky exercise in horror filmmaking. There's more juice in the laughs here than the scares. Martha K. Baker from KDHX in St. Louis. Once you're finished hoping that the humor shines through the red blood off the golden scissors, you'll still have to sit through us. I'm not going to read the last one.
Okay.
My opinion, I didn't like it.
Oh, wow.
I didn't like it. The reason I didn't like it is because it makes no sense, which I usually love because half the things I do don't make any sense. So I love things that don't make sense. But I was expecting scary, and it was not scary whatsoever. It's suspenseful, but they kind of build it as it was like a big-time horror movie. And there really isn't anything horror about it. I feel like they tried to do too much with the plot, especially when they're trying to explain why things were happening in the movie. It was just all over the place. The cast was pretty good. Lupita Nyong'o was awesome. So if you watch this movie for no other reason, she was fantastic.
Well, do you watch movies for acting performances? Do you ever do that?
Yeah, like I want to see, what's the Christian Bale? Vice. I want to see that because of his performance in that. So yes, I do. So if somebody says like, oh, this actor's awesome in it, I would watch it. But Jordan Peele, they're billing him to be like the next M. Night Shyamalan. And if he is,
So
then this is definitely...
He's doing the Airbender too?
Yeah, well,
that's going to be good.
Yeah, this is definitely his Airbender too, if that is the case.
Well, I think he has a lot of Alfred Hitchcock kind of things too, the way he does his movies. He's very aware of what he does, and he's involved in the whole movie. And I think that at the end, he can make a solid movie. Because I feel like a lot of movies that come out, there's a chance that the producer gets involved or somebody makes a decision that's not based off the overall creative image of, say, like one or two people.
I don't know. I think he's pretty much by himself.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I think he makes strong movies. Like, he has the ability to go, I'm going to do this process, and I'm not going to get 3/4 into it and be like, oh, I got to change. This is the way it's going to work.
I just think I was all hyped up.
Kind of like Star Wars.
I was all hyped up to be scared out of my mind, and it just wasn't at all.
Yeah.
Chris, could it be? No, I haven't seen Us or the previous one he did.
Get Out.
Get Out.
Yeah.
But I know the plots of both, and so it expects a lot of the audience, which I like. I'm with you.
It does.
But sometimes in the execution, you may have a movie like Donnie Darko or Primer, which is so incomprehensible at the end.
That's
or
how
Memento,
this one was for me,
where
yeah.
okay, we're going to re-release Memento in chronological order, so you can figure out what the hell this movie is. Sometimes it could be asking too much of the audience.
Yeah, but at least you were like, at the end of those, you're like, oh, yeah. But not this one was like, what?
Okay.
Like, I don't know. Why were they like that? Why were the other doppelgangers? It wasn't really explained in detail enough for me. So,
Do you think they wrote it as, oh, we're going to make a universe out of this?
No.
So he was just trying to make
don't
a
think
movie, and it just didn't. The third act just didn't flow.
I mean, it's not a bad movie. I just didn't like it. I could see how people like it, but the fact that he's being billed as like the next horror master is really misguided right now. I think. I smell jealousy. Well, maybe.
Is that Peter? You get Peter and Jelly?
For every Sixth Sense, there's The Happening.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is just happening.
What are you talking about? The Happening was awesome. Everyone was killing themselves. It was awesome. Any movie that has like
those
crazy
trees,
thing.
man.
That's one thing I loved about
Never look
Bird
at
Box. It's like the first 20 minutes, like, let's do the whole movie like this.
Never look
People
at
just
it.
randomly jump in front of cars. Like, why not? Let's just get disgusting.
Never look at a magnolia tree the same way.
So,
Well, I hope Jordan Peele keeps going because he is kind of fearless.
I don't think
he
they're
isn't
ever
writing
gonna
down
stop
the
him.
audience. So maybe he'll get it straightened
this is the
out.
perfect time for him to make as much money as possible.
Yeah. Oh, I think so.
Like, he fits the whole PC crowd. I mean, I think my favorite thing he said, he's always going to have a black lead. And I'm like, man, you could have done that without saying it, because now some
Yeah.
people are going to criticize you. So, because no one's going to question if he just keeps doing it. No one really cares.
Yeah.
Until you go, oh, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. So,
All right, we're going to move on to the game. This is a game of
Aw.
same actor, and I need a writing device. If you could throw me one, please, so I can keep score between you guys. This is a game of same actor, so I'm going to read 3 films, and between those 3 films, the same actor appears in all 3 of those films. The first one to answer gets a point.
Okay.
Winner gets nothing. Loser gets, I guess, nothing as well.
Is there a camera on Dick to make sure he's not quickly?
Yeah, there's a camera on.
IMDbing
Yes,
it?
and you're a little close to me, so I got to trust that you
Yeah,
don't look at my paper.
I'm looking
there,
right
so-
at the camera. Here we go. Here, I'll take off my glasses. I cannot see anything beyond.
bird box.
right.
He's bird boxing it.
All right, so question 1. The films are Cappy. Not even a Copycat.
That's on. So, Copycat's the first one?
Copycat, not
Okay.
Cappy. Copycat, Avatar, and Ghostbusters 2. And I went, because...
Oh, I got it.
Sean and I are from 2 different generations, so there are possibly
go
some
for it.
older actors.
Sigourney Weaver.
That is correct.
Yeah, I was also gonna guess. I was also gonna guess that guy who plays the general in Avatar.
Yeah, I was leaning towards him
like,
too.
Okay.
All right. Question 2. This is a hard one. B movie, Ted 2, and Scream 3.
Whoa.
Yeah,
B movie.
this is a challenge.
B movie. That's the CGI one with the bees,
With
right?
Jerry Seinfeld. Is the
Okay.
Oh, Mila
actor.
Kunis.
That is incorrect.
Okay, tried. Is she in the first one or second one? Of Ted.
The second one. No, the first one.
And what was
first Ted?
so B movie Ted 2 and what was the third one?
Scream 3.
Who's the girl in Ted 2?
The
answer?
The Gollum girl. She looks like Gollum. Amanda Seyfried.
Oh yeah,
Is that the answer?
No,
All right.
no.
The Gollum girl. Man, that's really cruel.
but it fits.
Can you imagine Gollum doing Mamma Mia?
I haven't seen Ted 2, so I'm having and B movie. I
Mark
don't recall
Wahlberg.
voice-
No, this isn't really. I mean, it's
This
a
is
challenge.
hard.
I got a cave on this one. I know not.
It is Patrick Warburton.
I have no idea who that is.
You don't know who that is, Patrick
Yeah,
Warburton?
the
Yeah.
Tick, the live
Yeah, the
action, the
Tick.
original Tick, live action.
Oh
Tick.
yeah.
All right, number 3.
No.
Not another teen movie. Lord. Cellular.
Oh, Chris Evans.
That is correct. And it was Avengers Endgame was the
Yeah.
second one. So
Wow.
you probably would have gotten
Yeah, I
it.
knew
All
you
right.
by Cellular. That
All
movie was
tied up.
great.
All tied up was go to question 4. This is Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, Hugo, and The Hobbit.
Christopher Lee.
That is correct.
Wow.
Yes.
Christopher Lee.
Number
Man.
5, A Beautiful Mind, Noah,
Russell Crowe.
incorrect, and Alita, Battle Angel.
Oh, Jennifer Connelly.
You can't guess. You can't
Ah,
guess
dang it.
twice. So
Sorry.
Jennifer
what
Connelly.
is- I,
Dang it.
I guess he gets it.
I would have guessed
I still need to see
eventually.
that movie. Alita.
Call that one a tie because
We'll call that one.
I still need to see Alita. I really want to see that movie.
All right. It is 3-2.
That was a gift.
Number 6, Ice Age Collision Course, The Boy Next Door, and The Backup Plan.
Oh, Jennifer Lopez.
That is correct.
wow.
You know, it's funny. I've seen The Girl Next Door or The Boy Next Door. That movie's psycho awesome. Like, it is the most random movie you'll ever. Oh man.
This is a good game. All tied up as we go into 7. There's 3 questions
Okay.
left here. Horns, Now You See Me Too, and Victor Frankenstein.
Aaron Eckhart.
Incorrect.
Oh, that was I Frankenstein. Dang it.
Hold on. Horns? Oh, that's Daniel Radcliffe.
That is correct. Yes. All right. 4-3 as we go to question 8. LBJ, War for the Planet of the Apes, and The Hunger Games.
LBJ? Oh, Gary Oldman?
No.
Is he in the Hunger Games? I have no idea.
No.
Who's in the Hunger Games? Is Hunger
Wait,
Games?
can you give the other 2 movies again?
War for the Planet of the Apes and The Hunger Games.
Oh, golly, I know it. I know
I see.
it.
I'm gonna get it wrong. You're gonna be mad. Donald Sutherland.
No.
No, it is Woody
Woody
Harrelson.
Harrelson, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yes, of course. Goodness golly.
All right. So 2 more.
Okay.
You're behind by 1.
I'm
Who is?
pacing myself.
Who's behind by 1?
I am.
Oh, I was trying to lose her.
The Jungle Book, Dumb and Dumber 2, T.O., Dumb and Dumber T.O., and Caddyshack.
Which Jungle Book? The original?
No, the new one.
No, great. The Jungle Book. Dumb and Dumber 2.
Is that hold on, when you say Dumb and Dumber 2, are you talking about Dumb and Dumber or Dumb like the legitimate sequel with Jim Carrey?
The title of the film is Dumb and Dumber T.O.
Oh, okay.
So I do not know which one that is.
Yeah.
I believe that's the latest one.
Yeah. Jungle Book, Dumb and Dumber 2, and what's the other movie?
Caddyshack.
I have no idea.
I'll say it just to say it. Bill Murray.
That is correct.
Woo!
wow.
Oh,
I lucked out on
this
that
is
one.
Wow, it's all tied up as we go into the final question.
How many questions? I thought you like that was the final question.
No,
Four
there's
questions.
10 questions.
Okay.
10 questions. This is the
All right,
final
all right,
one.
all right,
the
all right,
marbles.
all right, all right,
All right. The Jungle Book,
Oh man.
Us, and 12 Years a Slave.
The woman who
Well,
I don't know her
yeah, I
name.
can't remember her name. Makiti something.
Thank you for that. Does the last name start with a T?
It does not.
Is there a T in it?
No, there's not.
Yeah.
Not in her last
Then I
name.
concede. I don't know. I don't know her name.
I can't
pronounce it.
remember Mikiti Mbabwe.
I guess that's kind of close. So this is going to be called a tie.
Yeah,
Wow, that's pretty
fine.
good. It's Lupita Nyong'o.
Lupita.
Lupita Nyong'o. So wow, a tie. That's pretty good. There's
Not
no tiebreaker
bad.
because I didn't.
Yeah.
Well,
Anticipate
give
that
us one off the top of your head. Just
No, don't.
for all the
don't,
marbles.
don't do that.
I'm a
Okay,
horrible
don't do that.
improv actor.
Okay, I'll put my glasses back on now so
Okay.
I can see.
Well, we got
Alright,
5
guys.
minutes.
Nicely done
We got
there.
5 minutes left in the
We
show.
got 5
dude.
minutes left?
Yeah. Look at that. We got through it. So, anything else? Anything else going on? I'm really excited about Dune, the movie that's coming out pretty soon. They're adding like every single person into the movie.
Is Sting in it?
No, unfortunately, no. He didn't. It'd be really funny if he was though.
Did you watch the miniseries version they
Yeah,
did,
I did.
with William Hurt?
Yeah.
I was actually impressed
William
by
Hurt
that.
and what's his name?
It was less stylized than the David Lynch version, more true to the source material.
Yeah.
And more ponderous.
that's one
because
thing-
Dune is a very ponderous
Yeah,
story.
that's one thing. I've read the first Dune, and I really enjoyed the TV series. I've watched that and Children of Dune. With there's some really great actors like Susan Sarandon's in it, and then the plays the son is now really famous. He plays Professor X in the new X-Men movie.
James
Yeah,
McAvoy.
he plays I forgot the son's name.
Paul
But-
Atreides.
No, the son to Paul. He plays
Oh,
Theo
oh,
or
yeah.
something like that, Leo or whatever. So that's one thing I'm excited about is now the whole movie industry is trying to do big movies. So if they do this right, and especially style, the guy who is directed Blade Runner 2042, or was it that
49.
49? So I'm really excited because he did a very good. He was a very good director for that movie, and I was really excited about Blade Runner because it looked really good. So Dune, I hope at least looks really good, because a lot of things in Dune are all about the look, and
Yes.
I'm interested to see how they do some of the. Dune was written in the 70s, wasn't it?
Early 70s, I believe.
Yeah,
Maybe as early as the 60s.
because a lot of the technology and stuff he predicts is very pre iPhone. So, like my favorite thing is like the House Atreides, their main weapon, because they create a special weapon in the house, is using their voice,
Yes, the Sonic.
the sonic
blaster
thing. But
thingy.
it's like today you'd be like, this is just gimmicky. But back then it's like, all right, so what would actually, like everyone in the army has a voice, so that's how they make it a very powerful weapon, because everyone can use it.
Because also, like, certain words would increase the
yeah.
amplification, and Paul Muad'Dib would like
Was it
blow up an entire
everything.
regiment.
Yeah, and that's why I'm really interested, because there's a lot of far out stuff in Dune that's a lot of fun, but for an average audience member, it's not. It's you're gonna be like, what the hell? What the hell?
So here's a little quick trivia question for you. So in Dune, when they discover space travel, they realize the Catholic Church realizes that they got to rewrite the Bible because seeing other races and stuff. What's it called? The new Bible?
I have no idea.
The Orange Catholic Bible.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's really, you should really check it out, Chris, because there's a lot of depth to it, and a lot of it's cuckoo like Monzo stuff. It's great, and it's very, and I think what you could correct me if I'm wrong, it's very Shakespearean in the sense of the overall.
Yeah, like the Shakespeare history plays, like the Henry plays, Henry IV and Henry
it's
V.
all about
You got the
houses,
history,
and it's about betrayal, and it's about love and forbidden love.
and you got your good guys. Paul's father is a good guy. Duke Leopold is a good guy. Baron Harkonnen is the bad. Is
evil,
Lear.
and people go blind, and people.
Is on Prime.
Oh,
And I think it has ads in it, so be careful with that. But yeah, it's based. I mean, he directed one of your favorite movies,
Tootsie.
Sidney Lumet,
12
Angry Men,
12 Angry Men,
Yeah.
Marathon Man, if memory serves.
and that random movie Dog Day Afternoon. I remember watching that, and I was like, "Oh, this is supposed to be one of those Oscar movies," and it's like, I'm doing this for a sex change. I'm like, man, what is going on?
You know,
in this movie?
in Dog Day Afternoon, the FBI agent who kind of screws up stuff.
Yeah.
I used to work for him.
Really?
Mhm.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he talk about the sex change stuff?
No. In fact, he kind of downplayed who he was.
Oh.
We stumbled across it.
Because he really did screw that up, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So that's Find Me Guilty, streaming on free dive. So there you go. You want to close this out, Chris?
Sure. Well,
All
that
right.
is all we've got for this week's edition of the Tipisode. Gosh, man, I'm getting my words messed up today all day. of the Ticket Stub. This is episode 97. We've got our 100th episode coming
up.
here
Woo.
shortly, and so that should be very exciting. But make sure you follow us on our social media at @_Ticket Stub. For Dick, for Sean, thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Sean.
I'm Chris, and Connor will be back next week.
Yeah.